Hello, everyone. I'm Carlton Hoskins, and as always, welcome to Tax Sale Starters, where we bring you the latest tips and insights and updates and news on tax lien and tax deed investing. Very specific. If this is not your market, this is not your channel. We're talking to the investors who either want to improve what they're doing or want to get started in tax lien and tax deed investing. And as always, I bring a powerhouse of information with me. So we'll get to that in just a moment. Welcome back. And as always, we're going to bring the topics that you care about. And what we're going to talk about today is servicing and managing tax lien and tax deed portfolios. How do you do that? What is meant by that? What do people mean? And of course, I have to go bring in my ace, my number one gun. Brian's in the house with me. As always, Brian, thanks for joining me. Glad to have you.
Thanks, Carl. You always make me feel good about myself.
So humble. I love it. Well, Brian, we're talking about managing, oh my gosh, servicing and managing these tax liens and tax deed portfolios. Now, I got to give you all a little bit of insight. Tax Sale Resources provides tools that do exactly that. And I'm not trying to plug them. I'm just telling you, right? This is what they do. So if you want to know more about that information, that's the organization that can provide you all the tools, all the technology to help you do that, including obtaining the data. So this question is really in Brian's, every question I ask is in Brian's court. But this one sits in the heart. This is what he does. So, Brian, I'm going to just disappear because I really want to hear you go into this. What is meant by servicing and managing tax lien and tax deed portfolios? And I got tax deeds. Now what?
Yeah, it's a riveting topic for everybody listening, for sure. And it really varies in the tools that are out there. Like you said, we provide them, but certainly the tools that we provide aren't necessarily for everybody. There's just, I always say, if you're managing a couple tax deeds, Excel is an amazing tool for a lot less expensive and a lot more flexibility. But that in mind, there's certainly limitations to what Excel can do as far as tracking things and workflow management and calculating, current redemption values. Really, the driver or the need of servicing or tracking really comes from, I'll say, one of two needs, right? Either you're using a third-party funding source, whether it's a bank or a partnership or whatever that wants to have insight into what you're doing. Yes, there's ways of sharing an Excel file, but if you're going to do it at any sort of scale, having a nice, software certainly looks a lot better and makes that funding source more comfortable. And I can tell you, for a fact, if you're actually doing it on a large scale, using banks that fund tax liens industry, they require to have a third party, servicing software in place. And there's not many of them out there. We just happen to be one of them. Obviously, I'm biased. I think it's the best one. But they need to have that insight, and they need to have the reporting, and they need everything they require in order to be comfortable. And Excel just doesn't cut it for them. The other aspect of it is from a workflow management, right? Even if you're not using third-party funding, but you want to keep track of all the pictures you ever take, all the documents you ever get, all the actions you need to do, we call it to-dos, and each state is different in what's required. But for example, in Illinois, right after you purchase a lien, you've got to file a take notice, right, within a certain time period. Later in the process, you need to, if you want to extend it, you got to file an extension. And these are all documents that you've got to keep, and because they got to be submitted in order to file for a deed later in the process. And again, doing that for a couple of deeds or liens is not a big deal. Doing that for hundreds or thousands, for example, it's impossible to remember where everything's at and to scale. And that's really where we feel like we benefit everybody in the industry that's looking to scale, right? If you're looking to take what you've proven to be a successful business and you want to do it on a larger scale and use partnership money or use whatever, we have all of those tools, and the servicing software is a way of allowing those third parties to have insight, but it also does the redemption calculations for you. It creates the to-dos for you. It's a pretty powerful way of keeping tabs on everything.
Awesome. Thank you for joining us for another episode of Tax Sale Starters. Don't forget to hit the like button and the subscribe button so you can keep up with the latest tips and insights in tax sale and tax lien investing. Also, check out Tax Sale Resources, where you can get the latest insights on upcoming liens and all that great information to help you be a better investor. Until next time, happy investing.